here. You guys know I've been here a couple times and I've gone home, you know? So I didn't write a speech. And then Kilby's told me in the car, I have a feeling, so write a speech. So I wrote a little something on my phone because I didn't want to mess up over here, okay? So just listen to me, okay? First of all, I want to say praises to the Almighty God. Praises to Jesus Christ. I want to say thank you to one man who changed my life. Kilby's and Legacy Life Entertainment right on my right.
Lifestyle radio station.
I want to say thank you to my well-able team. Quaps, Funks, Erasmus, Gourmet, Gemma, Endo. God bless you guys. I want to say shouts to Kentis, Skanky, and all my brothers who stay with me every time and make sure I'm good. I want to say thank you to my parents and my siblings. This is my mother right here, guys. Happy Mother's Day to my mother. I'm so honored and proud that on a day like this, I get to spend it with my family. Mommy, thank you for believing in me. You never stopped me when I started making music and I was still in school. And today, look at us, we're here today. I want to say a big thank you to Dance God Lloyd and his team.
3FM 92.7.
A big thank you to my dad who's here as well. A big thank you to 5K and Sony Music. And the last one, a big thank you to
when I wake up, you be first thing on my mind.
And he ended that speech by saying to all the young ones, it is a test of resilience. Never give up. One Sixtus Ullo, looking sparkling in pink. Is it your birthday today, Sixtus Ullo? That's why you're wearing pink?
I wish.
Have you heard the saying, real men wear pink?
Oh, yeah.
Is that why you chose this color?
Oh, no, but I've always been pinky.
Good to see you.
I shared something on my Facebook yesterday. I came across it on Instagram, and I quickly had to share it to Facebook. It says that the best are born in April.
Oh, that is a fact. As for that one, I can confirm that right here on the show. Scientifically proven.
You and I are testimonies.
Oh, absolutely.
Manifestation.
That is right. If you're born in April, your future is so bright. Sparkling. And as I was saying earlier, you have congratulations on one side and possible commiserations on the other. I'm taking this story from 3news.com. I read a bit of that for you. Chief of Staff summons Gold Board CEO Sami Jemfi over Agrada money video. It's gone absolutely viral. A number of you sharing your thoughts and opinions with us this morning. Do keep them coming across the board. You can find us on X, on Facebook, and also on Instagram. Sixtus, no surprises. They're given the code of conduct, a very strict code of conduct that has been rolled out by the president, which governs, or shall I say, guides the conduct of public officials.
No surprises.
Which, like you mentioned to us the other day, I want to chip that in, that this code of conduct is not the beginning or the genesis of how public officials should conduct themselves. We have the laws, we have the constitution as well. But this, I suppose, tidies it up. You have one document that you can look to also glean the direction in which our president is going. The NDC government came in full force with that anti-corruption spirit, if you will. You have oral that has also been a topic of conversation since its inception. And now you have this saga, Sixtus.
I am not surprised that he's been summoned. I mean, as I monitored the news landscape this morning, almost everyone had that story. And I kept saying to myself, well, we are making some progress. Money has been given. It has sparked some negative energy, and government is interested in investigating that matter. So the head of the administration says, come, let's sit down, come and explain yourself. So yes, it's good that we have the chief of staff inviting Sami Jemfi to come over and tell his side of the story. Mind you, up to this point, we have a woman with a microphone and a camera who has told all of us what really happened. The man, on the other hand, we don't know from his side what really happened.
You mean Sammy Gyamfi?
Sammy Gyamfi.
Okay.
He took to Facebook to render an apology.
Indeed.
To his comrades. Not to Ghanaians, to his comrades. Because I see in the spirit of that post to be that a part of the critique was, well, you have people who campaigned with you, who stood by you, side by side, as we often would say, who were in the trenches with you. Now, power has come. There was this woman, on the other hand, whilst you were in the trenches with those people, who was sitting on TV insulting you,
right,
and all those you were in the trenches with, and insulting not just you and the young people of the party, but also the leader of the party, the flag bearer at the time, who is now president. Suddenly, this woman shows up at an event that you were at, then says, give me money, and you give her the money. You didn't just give her our own cedi, you gave her dollar. And you know how we revere dollar.
That's right.
Sadly, unfortunately, you know how we revere dollar. So I think he got the message that he's been very rude to the young people of the party, very insulting and snobbish of their contributions, because the anger is not about you giving money to somebody. It's about the amount of money that has been given and the person involved.
Okay, you would say on the side of his comrades, those are their talking points.
That is their talking point.
Right.
I'm sure that if Sammy Gyamfi had given you Helen money, this wouldn't have happened.
Even if it had been revealed.
Let's maintain the same circumstances. Let's remove Agrada from it and fix you, Helen, into it. I'm not sure we would have had this backlash.
I think the conversation would still, because in some quarters it's also about the optics of it. You go into your vehicle and retrieve.
I am coming to that.
Dollars.
I'm coming
to
that. I'm saying, I started from the point of view of the ordinary so-called full soldier who campaigned. Because a lot of the comments that went on this tangent had to do with some of them still not having jobs, some of them struggling to get food, some of them looking for even money to do communication for the party.
Some of them claiming they had even approached Sammy Gyamfi directly.
Some of them saying they had approached the same person directly and he had not been forthcoming with them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. At this point, everything is alleged.
That's right.
And they turn around and see the same man dole out money to somebody they consider an enemy. I mean, no true member, no comrade, no, what is the word? No fighter in that battle would be happy with the commander. None at all. So we can understand that anger, righteous or not, we can understand it. Now, moving beyond that, and I said that let's remove Agrada and put you into that picture. And that is what will take me to the next step.
Okay.
That, look, appointees are members of the community. Appointees are members of the society. They are from the same old school that you went to.
That's right.
They are from the same church that you attend. They are the same communities that you are in. They go for the same funerals. They go to this. They do the same offering in church. They do the same harvests for there in church and all of that. Are you telling me, Helen, that you go for your old school event and there's talk of a fundraiser, and Helen, you are in a position that you can give more than me? You will not give more than me, simply because you live by a certain code of conduct that says don't live an opulent life. What is opulence? Yes, the optics are no good.
That's right.
But who created the optics? Was it Sammy Gyamfi? No. I have watched the video over and over and over, and I was trying to understand exactly what part of the code of ethics, code of conduct, Sammy Gyamfi would have breached. I watched it, and I kept asking myself, okay, young man appointee, invited to a public event, meets an enemy of the party. Forgive my choice of words. I'm situating it.
Sure.
Meets an enemy of the party. They have a conversation. The enemy of the party, at the end of the conversation, says, now that we have reconciled, give me something for fuel. Then the young man appointee says, oh, but this one is no problem. We have reconciled. We are never enemies in the faith. In fact, we are angry with you, but only on principle. And to show that we are not enemies like that, I will give you something. So the young man withdraws himself. He didn't stand there, pulled out a bundle of dollars and counted it out to them. No, he withdrew himself to the privacy of his vehicle, counted money, gave it out to this person. Whilst in the process of counting the money, the woman's cameraman, or whichever cameraman, but I suspect the cameraman is the woman's cameraman,
Okay.
decides to meander his way or her way through the crowd, maneuver, weave his way or her way through, to point the camera directly into the vehicle to see, number one, what was happening in the vehicle. Because by this time, mind you, Agrada had also gone to the side of the car. And it was just Agrada and Sammy Gyamfi. But for the camera, we wouldn't have known what happened there.
That's right.
And but for the camera, we wouldn't have been having this conversation. The conversation we are having is not even about the quantum of the money
Is
involved.
it not?
I haven't heard anybody talk about the amount of money
that is
involved.
really, in some quarters, what I see taking center stage because of the comments made by Agrada. She alleges initially that
I'm coming to her video in church. I'm coming
Yes.
to that. But I'm saying that the public discussion, as I have followed it on social media, it is not even about how much money is involved. It's about a certain attitude of an appointee. Well, people are using the word spraying. That was not spraying.
In
money.
fact, that's how the Daily Guide
People-
captured it this morning. And
Not
surprisingly,
surprising.
a lot more of the papers have not carried this story. I believe maybe only the Daily Guide has it as a banner story, or maybe one other newspaper. And the Daily Guide captures it as follows. Sammy
spraying.
Gyamfi sprays dollars on Agrada. And you've got stills from that viral
Which is
video.
sensational. What is spraying of money? We all know how money is sprayed. The young man did not spray money. He went into his vehicle to give money to somebody who had asked for it. And a certain camera person followed up to take a video of that transaction and put it out there. That is not spraying money. Again, Agrada herself went to church when the noise started.
Yeah.
Agrada herself went to church and disclosed the amount of the money.
The
According to
alleged
Agrada,
amount.
No, she said it.
She
I
said
cannot
it.
allege. She's
Okay.
the recipient, and she said it is $800.
Because
I wasn't there.
She has mentioned some other figures, I believe.
The video I watched, and I think I saw two different videos. They were said to 800.
800, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so not $10,000 like I'm now seeing being bandied about. That's the allegation that I've
The
I've
woman
seen.
herself said
$800.
$800. Now, you and I may disagree with Agrada, even Agrada, on the amount involved. Because if you watch the video, there's a certain counting. There's the counted that is given to Agrada. And there's a snatching. Do you get it? So it's not like I can even say that if you watch the video, you see a certain expression on the young man's face when Agrada snatched the rest of the money. There was a certain expression on his face, which could be interpreted to mean, what at all is this?
It felt like an ambush.
An ambush, like he's not happy about the snatching the rest of the money that was snatched. For all you know, the man was also on budget. I'm not holding brief for him.
Right.
I am trying to look at it as a reasonable person, as somebody who has dealt with or who deals with public officers on a daily basis. So if, let's say, I meet somebody, an appointee in town, and I go like, give me money for fuel, and the person gives me the money, that's a breach of a certain code of conduct. I mean, we have to be able to situate the conversation. Then we can say that Sammy Gyamfi specifically offended this particular provision of the code of conduct. I am still unable to find the specific provision that this particular incident, this particular transaction offended. I started from the point of view or the angle of the foot soldiers, purposely for the fact that I believe that they have every right to be very angry with their communications officer. They have every right to be angry with him, especially the commentary coming from certain quarters that, we that you have not finished sorting us out.
That's
you
right.
started sorting out people who were fighting us. I will agree with that story. But to go beyond that story, to then start saying that, okay, it's a display of wealth. It's a display of opulence. It's a display of, everybody has his own word he's using. Now let's ask ourselves, how much is the money involved? Well, it may be more than 800, but 800 is what has been mentioned. Let's talk about the 800. Even if you are giving fuel money to somebody and it's $800, that's how much in Ghana cedi?
That is.
I think that's where the 10,000 cedis is coming in.
No,
is it up to 10?
More than that.
It's more than 10,000.
More than that.
Yeah.
More than that.
You
You're
can just
looking
do
in
a
the
simple
region.
Google conversion. Convert $800 to
Cities.
to Ghana cedis, and you'll get the amount. Now, that would also raise concerns.
That's 10,511 cedis and some 68 pesos. So maybe that's where we're getting the issues conflated. Instead of saying 10,000 cedis, others are running with it and saying $10,000.
No.
Okay.
So, like I said, I am going with the amount that has been mentioned by Agrada until I get another set of facts that point to a contrary opinion or view. And the point I am making is that, number one, the young man, to be fair to him, did not set out to spray money. That is not what I see from the video. I see from the video an appointee who has been approached and who innocently gives out an amount of money to another person. The amount of money involved is a different conversation we can have. If somebody says he wants fuel money and you give the person $800, is that reasonable? Can we reasonably say that this is fuel? But then again, Helen, if I ask a government appointee for money, is it 200 Ghana he will give me?
Okay.
I'm saying that also to raise the point on who is asking. The fact that the woman came to say, give me fuel money, does not necessarily mean you give a fuel coupon of 200 Ghana. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's right.
We live in a society, unless we want to pretend about this.
As if we ourselves don't approach appointees, we ourselves don't solicit their help when our kids are going to school, when we have funerals, naming ceremonies, weddings, especially you approach them, I'm getting married, I don't know, how can you support? Unless we want to pretend as though we don't do that in the society. Now here comes the political twist, and of course I'm sure you would have noted those who have eagerly latched on to the story. For example, I saw Reverend Intim Fojo make a long write-up about this viral video, talking about opulence, code of conduct, and so on and so forth, and making a connection. He says maybe there are even dollars under the bed, which I found very intriguing and quite interesting to follow. But we know how things go in our country when these issues rear their heads. And so on the other side as well, I see old videos or previous videos from Sammy Gyamfi talking about unexplained wealth, the optics of, giving out money. And sometimes these words will come and bite you in the
You want to tell me that the
behind.
CEO of Gold Board will not have or does not have or cannot afford $800 to give to somebody? I'm carefully choosing my words because I know they will come at me. That's the CEO of Gold Board. So yes, we can talk about his earnings, which we don't know, by the way. We can ask ourselves how much he earns. When was the appointment? How much he earns within the months of the appointment? Could he have accumulated enough to be able to dish out $800 to an enemy? Could he have done that? Again, what are his allowances? It's a question too we can ask. And these should be matters of public record. What are his allowances? Will he be able to give fuel money to somebody to the tune of $800? Is this something that the chief executive of, I almost said Cocoa Board, Gold Board can do? Is it beyond the office? Well, not the office, because it's not an official transaction, but an occupier of that office. Is it beyond the person? Again, coming back to the point of the code of conduct, what specific provisions are we talking about? We have gone through the code of conduct. And so far, everybody is mentioning code of conduct without specifically mentioning which part of the code of conduct.
Right.
Now, is it offending the part that talks about lifestyle? Again, I ask, what is the lifestyle here? The man intended to do something. He went into his car to do it. Some of a camera person went into the privacy of his vehicle. It's not like he came there, pulled out a bundle of dollars and counted. That is not what happened. That is not what happened. And again, people are talking about he carrying dollars.
That's right. It's also been one of the talking points that's got the tongues wagging. Dollars. Okay, then we see that connection seemingly being made between himself and Gold Board. Okay, well, dollars.
So meaning he doesn't chop CD. He only chops. CEO, where will you be this afternoon? I don't have fuel. I'll meet you.
Will this change the way in which public officials engage with the everyday public? Now, is it the case that
definitely would?
Do you have to send an assistant to do that transaction, or is it now going to save our politicians and appointees some money in their pocket? Somebody will say, please, I beg you, in this society,
yes.
I don't want problems.
Yes.
If I were in officialdom, that would be my next tactic. I beg you, don't ask me, please. You see what happens?
Yes.
And I'll just save all my currency in my pocket.
Yes. That is exactly the attitude that we are expecting or we are trying to instill in the public officers.
Do we need that culture shift then? Because we put a lot of...
I started by saying, they are the same people in your church.
That's right.
They are the same people in your community who come for the naming ceremonies, the funerals, I'm not saying they should come spraying money at funerals, and I'm using spraying here in the right sense of the word that we all know to be spraying, not the one that the newspaper has used. No. When we say spraying money, we know how money is sprayed. Right. And we cannot, in all fairness to Sami Jemfi, say that he was spraying money. No. Unless there's another part of the video I haven't seen. They belong to our same old school. My old school, we have programs every now and then. We have programs every now and then. The lawyers amongst us, the doctors amongst us, the judges amongst us, they are contributing, the military men and women amongst us. Okay, we don't have women. The military men amongst us. I mean, I'm just using the old school example to say that if you belong to an old school association that is vibrant, you know how you raise money. You go for programs, then you do silver collection maybe to do a project, or you levy yourselves, And those amongst you who can, not necessarily public officers, no, not necessarily government appointees. There are a lot of public officers. Somebody could be a chief director, is a public officer. Somebody could be even a director in an organization. The person is a public officer. If you are a PRO in an organization, you are a public officer.
That's right.
So, I mean, we have to be careful how we deal with this Sammy Gyamfi matter. Else, we are going to then give some appointees to the for lack of a better expression, the the reason not to share.
And I don't think they'll be mad at that. I think they'll be excited for that latest development. But Sixtus, I want to talk about this culture of ours, so that we call it "thank you for wasting time on me," "thank you for coming here," "thank you." You know how sometimes we can't seem to find that clear line between. I don't even know which word to use, but when we dole out cash, the way that public officials sometimes dole out cash for various things, I'm thinking about instances where it has been borderline, shall I say, bribery, so that a public official says, "Oh, I was only providing lunch, and it's 10 a.m. or 9 a.m." This is
especially at elections.
At election time. Is it a snowball effect from these petty things that happen? Oh, give me money here. Or is it just culture at play?
So, thank you for even raising that. So, you see, the dynamic would have also even changed if the CEO, acting CEO, had done this in a public gathering of a certain nature. So, if he had gone to give out this money, for instance, at, let's say, an election, then you know that he is indirectly trying to influence something.
Okay.
That would have also been a different conversation. If, again, he had gone to a party event, not a party event. I'm just trying to look at the circumstances under which it would have also, or it could have also been interpreted to mean an attempt to influence a certain process. Then I would have also taken issue with it. But this is not an attempt to influence anything. This is not an attempt to show anything. This is not an attempt to display anything. It's a simple story.
That's right.
Of somebody, somebody who approaches you for money. I don't want to say help, for money. Out of the goodness of your heart, you decide to give the person the money. Then you give the money. Maybe you gave too much. Maybe you gave too much. That's also a conversation we can have. But the act in itself, which is what we are crucifying, the act in itself, I don't see how it offends the code of conduct as a public officer.
Now, Sixtus, let me pick your thoughts on this, and quickly we'll take some calls before sports comes your way. Time check, it is some 28 minutes past the hour of 7. I should have apologized earlier. There's no Johnny's Bites this morning. A number of you sending through your messages. Apologies for that. No Johnny's Bites this morning. Now, would also the timing, the general economic timing of this matter, so that if, say, this was circa 2022, inflation is at 54%, we are not seeing the woods for the trees, as the saying goes, and we get this kind of conduct where we're being pinched, inflation is biting, will that kind of circumstance also raise temperatures more, or should that not even be in contemplation? Do we say that, look, times are going a bit okay. There's some fiscal relief, it appears, on different fronts, with petrol going down, the city getting a lot of commendation across the board. It's not a biting time. Why are we so, concerned about this? Had this been a different time, then maybe our temperatures can raise. Is that a valid angle to even think about? The optics of it, all of that sort of thing, even goodwill. Already, if your government is annoying the people, shall I say, quote unquote, not in the people's good books, every single action has to be even more measured because of the general optics and the temperature. You read the temperature of the environment to also act. Is that a valid angle to also look at, or is that giving maybe an excuse?
You see, it shouldn't matter the time. what is right is right. What must be done must be done. What must not be done must not be done. It shouldn't matter the time, whether we are in economic difficulty or we are in abundance, season of abundance, or it shouldn't matter. Which is also the reason why we should be able to properly situate the conversation, trying to check what the intentions were, what the end game was, what the objective was. Again, but of course, I will agree with that such an argument, that if people were generally angry with the government of the day, and then you go to do this, then that will even reinforce the anger.
You put salt on the wound.
On the wound, because people are hungry, they don't have food to eat, and you are giving dollars to somebody who is considered your political enemy. So yes, that would have added more fuel to the fire. So I agree with, I can appreciate that argument. But then again, we ask ourselves, the fact that the thing happened or was supposed to have happened behind closed doors doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The fact that the giving was without any intention of influencing, inducing, anything, doesn't matter. Does it also matter that this was not an act that was intended to be in the public space? That this was not an act that was intended to be seen by any other person? I mean, some have also made the argument that if you know Agrada,
why would you go
Why
there?
would you do this? Because you know that whether you say it or not, she will say it.
That's right. And you never know.
That argument has also been
she
made.
has people around there, they have their phones and cameras, so that one might say this is a rookie mistake for being such an experienced political communicator and politician, that this was a miscalculated step. Maybe reason why comrades will also be unhappy or displeased with him, because again of the nature of the individual to whom this money was given, and also the general optics of it all. I mean, politically, a misstep, if you will.
Yes, and on the back of that, some people have argued that it was a setup, it was a trap, and he fell into it. But I don't see that it was a trap. I see that it was, what was the word you used? The act of a rookie, of a public appointee or a government appointee, that you don't realize how much scrutiny you are under until you take one of those missteps. You simply don't realize how much scrutiny you are under until it happens. Again, you should realize that there's really nothing about the John Mahama administration to talk about so far. So you have brought yourself. If I were a government person, as in PR we do risk assessment,
Right.
and there's something we call crisis management in PR. And if I were assessing this situation as a PR person, I would say that, look, so far, your opponents have been unable to find mud that will stick. A lot of things have been thrown at you, but none stuck. For some funny reason. See this defense matter, this air ambulance matter. Was it a defense matter? The air ambulance matter.
Right.
See how it went. Giddy, 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 giddy. Press conference. It didn't stick.
That's right.
It died off. In fact, it rather backfired. So you should know that once there's nothing that has been found against you that will stick, the scrutiny is more scrutiny than scrutiny. So the least thing you do, it will be blown.
Is it also the case
And that's
that
something that every single appointee
should be
aware of?
But Sixtus, is it also the idea that the average Ghanaian now is on tenterhooks because we say we've seen something in Babylon? Some Ghanaians will say we've seen something before.
We've seen this before.
We've seen Shege before. So it appears that the average Ghanaian is also on edge. You know, we don't want to let anything, pass us by because sometimes the feeling is that, hey, we were maybe coasting, chilling, relaxing, and a lot of things were going on our blind side. So I see a lot of people more hyper alert to these sorts of instances because they say, let's catch this or nip this before it goes anywhere. We are still accounting
for... It could be $800 today. Tomorrow it will be $8,000.
Yes, and we don't want... We still haven't accounted for $58 million on the National Cathedral, SkyTrain, $2 million. There's so much money we haven't recouped into our coffers. So I see that kind of... I don't know whether it's residual trauma. I'm just doing my assessment. Everybody, any small thing, we are on edge. We saw $1 million under a bed. We've been scandalized before, Sixtus, and I think that is the remnants of that still
we are on red alert.
We are on red alert for any single thing. Everybody wants to make sure that they are critiquing. That way nobody says, hey, where were you when? Because that's the new trend. When this happened, you didn't talk some. So everybody wants to talk some so that they have the digital footprint to say that I too, when it came, I said some. Watch the page, so that they don't say neutrals, banza, neutral, bien, new chrome. I think I see that posturing as well. But after listening to you, Sixtus,
but would it have been? Would the story have changed if he gave out CDs?
I think that's a fair question.
And if he had given, or if he were to give out CDs, it wouldn't have been 10,000 CDs.
You say it would have been what? Far less.
It would have been far less. It probably would have been 5,000, 2,000. But like I said, it could also be the person involved. Like me, if I ask you for money, I'm not expecting you to give me 1,000 cedis. You are not expecting to give me 1,000 cedis.
Hey, how much? I have to be attending more funerals.
Helen, so you want to give me money, you look at my face and give me 500 Ghana.
Look at your tie and your shirt today. You are worth more than $800. Time check, it is some 23 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's take some calls and pick your thoughts as well, and then we'll make way for some sports this morning. I see our phone lines are already blinking. 0559 242 717. You can also reach us on 055 6910 154. We call it Voice of the People, community voices, shall I say. A lot of libi, a lot of laba. Let's on to the phone lines and pick our first call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Helen. How are you?
I'm doing great. Who's speaking, please?
This is Collins, calling from Amamole in the Ganoff Municipal.
Collins, have you already had breakfast? You're full of energy this morning.
Yes, I do.
You've had, what did you take in this morning?
Porridge and bullfruit. So that's why the energy is booming.
How is Amamole this morning?
Oh, by the grace of God Almighty, everybody is very safe. And let me take this opportunity to greet my only one and only, Johnny Hughes, fantastic man. And
Certainly.
Helen, you too, and Dad, Ada organizer, constituency organizer, fantastic day. Look, about this matter, let me just jump it and move on. Because I can't explain it. I'm not there. I saw it, and it's on everywhere. But I'll just beg you to just kick off and move on to my real issue. I'll go straight to President Mahama appointee. Look, we have a say in account that in such one thing, and a Christian, they will answer because they jail some people forever, some to 20 years, 30 years, and you are 6 months, 3 months. So you just turn your back and say, oh, if mine is 3 months, then I should relax. It will just come back. Look, we are in opposition 8 years, and we know we saw what the past government did. I appeal to the apprentices. Look, the young ones. Look sharp. President Mahama is on good channel, great direction, and I'll beg President Mahama that, look, he should move on and focus everyone, every single person who even chop single money, 50%, 1 CD, it should put in before court. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Colin. Shout out to the cocoa and buffet you had this morning. It's fueled you nicely. Hello, good morning. Apologies, I lost that caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, who's speaking, please?
Very good. My name is Robert.
Robert, where are you calling us from? Okay, we're having some problems with your line, Robert. Please reconnect with us. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my sister.
Yes, who's speaking, please?
I'm Appiah Lima.
Hajia. How was your weekend, Hajia?
Come again.
How was your weekend?
Oh, nice. Cool. Alhamdulillah, we thank God.
Nice one. Happy Mother's Day to you. Let's hear you, please.
Same to you, my dear. My sister, it's all about Sami Jemfi and the Buhaha.
That's right.
My advice to my brother is that he should continue to be kind to people, but he should watch out. He's a public figure, so he should watch out where he gives out. I am thankful to Allah that we saw him in the video. He is rather giving, not he receiving from somebody. If he should be the one receiving, even if it is a debt that is being paid to him, people will say he's taking bribe because of where he is. So me, I thank Allah for not seeing Sami Jemfi taking money from somebody, but rather he is giving. And blessed is the hand that gives, than the hand that takes. So I pray that this will set a very big lesson to him. We know how he is. He should, but he should know where he will give. And
Hajia,
this one will block a lot of people's chance, even if person is dying at a program, and Sami Jemfi have the capacity to help the person not to die at a spot, he will not do it. He shouldn't do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hajia says, once bitten, twice shy. I'll get on to my next caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Eben. Good morning. How was the weekend?
Not bad at all. I enjoy you.
You were watching.
You're dressing alone. Hey,
it wasn't easy. And in Nasumu, it was not easy at all.
At all.
Thank you, Eben. We had a great weekend. We're tired, but we're back at post. Let's hear you. What are your thoughts?
I can see that because it was for that they were able to.
Oh, and you're easy.
I really enjoy you.
Thank you. Let's hear you, please.
Okay, anyway, let me say good morning to Hajiawa of GRA. We are pleading with the president to remember her too. You see, for me, let me say kudos to Comrade Sami Jemfi for taking the bold initiative to apologize for being kind to a certain person that most Ghanaians are not happy. It's one of those things, and I will plead with authority, especially the invitation to the chief of staff to look into it and realize that he did it out of kindness, and I don't think there should be brouhaha of it. And for me, I don't see this in that. If I may ask you in the first place, which of the code of conduct has he breached, Helen?
I think today we can look into that, maybe have a read through and situate it for ourselves. So stick with us all morning long. Let's get those answers.
Okay. Anyway, I will tell my president that he's on course and he should stay focused and deliver to Ghanaians because he promised to deliver. He shouldn't listen to what the Nano group in parliament, especially their leader,
not even micro. Minority. Mighty minority. Eben, thank you. You too. Have a great Monday. I get on to my last caller because Billy Sean is in the house. Sports is coming your way up next. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
Yes, who's speaking?
Please, this is Brett calling from Abosokai.
How is Abosokai this morning?
By the grace of God, Abosokai is good.
Certainly.
Abosokai there, just a bonfire, and I'm sorry, I wish Mamma there. A bonfire saying, Uncle Pombema, maybe I'll be bothering this now. It can sky from the tunnel.
Sape Pepe, amen.
My main child, Nabo Alagia Fondo. I may John Doma, myself. an appointment may need confirm or be confirmed. Dear my honorable Samigency, Wabon Modern, say, or near dog, say, or be now or quam more obit me a buano. But I made a foot to me the money, say, on being any. Now on Shabby Bia or Big Bobby, anytime or the Bebuane panel. Now Omongu Nimasi, because nipa bebre na nepe honorable Samigency down for. Ushe honorable Samigency a nimdia owo any insemo okikanti bebre na etano. Ti bebre nipa bebre na be protuno. Ti omo protuna onhwe yiye na wankotum. Nti we futu a so osua yedana sisu say what me apologize e dia magana for. Nti yonko so embo ejuma fan bo man.
Thank you so much for your call, and we end community voices at this point to make way for sports. Bill is in the house. Bill, hello, good morning.
Hi, Helen. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I like you in the green. Yeah.
I'm wearing green for money. I'm manifesting $800.
Wow.
Yes.
But $800 is small.
Share. $800 is enough to cause quite the stir. Sports is up next.
3FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.